Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is June 14th, 2025, and this is my weekly market review where I'm reviewing the Dow 30, that's DIA, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, let's maximize this quarterly chart. Resize it and see what we see. We see the Dow is actually looking pretty strong. It's back above pivot. It's looking green. Got a green hammer up here. And that's what we see here. Again, be kind of mindful of this because, again, getting a green hammer looking like this and not quite at the top, we could. And this thing still has lower highs and lower lows here on this big picture. The only thing is, bullish for us bulls here looking at this, we are above pivot and we are green. But let's go ahead and go down and look at this monthly picture and see what we see here on this monthly picture. See, that's why I'm saying being cautious. On this monthly picture, we can see here that we're still below the 9-10 moving average. So technically, we are still in a bear market, on the Dow. So that's the other little thing. This candle here is below that 9-10 moving average. And we're in the second week of this month. We did try to push above there, but we are back below there. So be kind of like mindful of your trading plans and pay attention to your trading strategies and all. And we started out this whole quarter, below pivot too. So again, we may end up, closing somewhere down here. We're going to have and we're still quite a ways on this particular index. We're quite a ways from all-time highs. So that's why you don't hear me talking too much about trying to make all-time high. This thing is making higher lows, and it did make a higher high so far this month and all. So that's looking good, but technically we are still in a bear market since we are still below this 9-10 moving average. So let's go ahead and go down to the weekly chart and see what we see there. On this weekly chart, zoom in here. Again, on this weekly chart, what looks good here though, we are above the 50, so that's giving us some oomph. So these guys are trying to push higher, but we have a lot of supply over here where this market has sold off. So now going up and getting close to some of this stuff right here in this area, not even at the high yet, it's giving this thing apart where before it was trying to stay above the 50 back here. Now it's gotten above the 50 again and trying to stay above the 50 and not go back down. So this is what we got to watch here. Because this thing can be making one of these little patterns where it kind of comes up, down, then kind of up, down, and really, a lot of us would think that we should be ready to shoot off to the top, just like what I did this here, because that's normally what that's what this pattern, this little ugly looking pattern that we're getting here, usually how it usually happens. But this is a weekly chart. So again, we've been here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks already. Come next couple of weeks, will we start seeing this thing actually trying to go higher, like it is trying to stay above the 50 at this time. So we just kind of like wait and see what's going to happen here. So it wants to go up, but it's just definitely having a hard time. There's a lot of selling, a lot of supply up there in the market holding this thing down. But let's go ahead and go down and look at the daily noise, and I'll wrap this on up. You can see on the, I zoomed in a little bit too much. Let me back up just a little bit. You can see this whole pattern that I was just trying to draw before here, where you got this thing coming down, up, down, up, down, up, and all. And a lot of the little things, the way people look at this particular pattern here, based on whatever this low is and this neckline here is, that's how far you can expect this thing to zoom up to that. These should be equally levels right here. Whatever this came down to, I'm not going to go into any numbers here because again, I don't know what's going to happen. This thing, but they kind of expect it to go as far down as it went, go up as far as it went, and that will get us over the all-time highs and stuff. But that can be, in the next couple of months before that actually happens. Because again, this time period, you have to almost look at this time period from here to here to know exactly what's going to happen there. And all. So again, that's one of the things that you have to be looking at But let's go down, take a zoom back in here and take a quick closer look at what happened here on this daily picture. Zoom, 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 zoom back in here just a little bit. See, it's been really pretty noisy. Like I say, daily noise, I call it. Because we can see that this market was looking like it was trying to make a nice, the way the market trend up. But then we got this doji here at the top. And then we got this bearish engulfing, with a green candle and all. But it's like it's a bullish engulfing in the wrong location. Put it that way. That's what it is. It's a bullish engulfing in the wrong location. So I almost want to call it a bearish engulfing since it's at a top, and it's just the color of the candle is wrong. Again, when it comes to candle patterns, that's one of the things you got to kind of like realize. Okay, yeah, that looks. If those candles were switched, that would be a bearish pattern. That's is just one of those things. After you looked at this stuff for a while, you get. That's why you look at this stuff, and you see how these different things, how these different indexes behave, and then you learn to get your trading strategies and plans around how these things behave and trade accordingly. Once again, we can see that this thing was having a hard time that one day, and then looked like but it didn't make. It made lower highs and lower lows. Warning, 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 warning. Start of the downward trend. So again, you had your stops in tight. You took your trades off. It had started early. It wasn't like like before. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high. The elevator stopped, and that's what you got to learn to see. But that's pretty much it. That's all. That's just getting too technical, too looking at too much there. But you get where you see these things happening all the time. So be careful, especially trading near top. Trading near top, look for any signs of any kind of bearish pressure and all, and just learn to, manage your trade properly. That's all I really want to say. And that's it. I hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys having a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. This is a Right Side Trader. Let me get my. I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.